What's up, everybody? We'll see you live tonight for Monetize This at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. But Seth Rollins, we talked about this a little while back. Listen to this. We talked about the fact that clearly it was evident that him and Dolph Ziggler were not happy with the crowd at Extreme Rules for chanting with the clock. And we even overheard their conversation of them discussing, why don't they take the damn clock down and everything. This, you can hear them. I don't know if it's been edited out on the WWE network yet. But recently, Seth Rollins sat down for an interview with CBS In This Corner. He was asked about the situation. He says, quote, "I think upset is the right way to put it." Rollins said when asked how the crowd during Extreme Rules made him feel, "People are like, did you get mad?" And he goes, "Nah, dude, I just get sad because I love performing. I love having that synergy with the crowd. And when they're paying attention to something else, inexplicably, really, it's frustrating from a performance perspective, especially when you know that you're the main event of the pay-per-view for the Intercontinental Championship. It hasn't been done in 20-odd years, and it's the match that most people in the building paid money to see to begin with. So it doesn't make sense to me, and I don't get it. I can't imagine myself paying money to go somewhere, a game or a concert or something, and, not paying attention to what's going on. Again, they did buy their tickets. They're allowed to do whatever they want to do. So it's sort of a double-edged sword in that sense. They can do what they want, but yeah, it definitely makes you question your own validity in the sport. I think I have an answer for Rollins on this one. I really do. I really have an answer. I think there's a lot of things at play here. First of all, I think Rollins, if he sees this or if Seth Rollins has nothing to worry about. He is beloved by probably the most important people that watch the WWE right now. Okay, not the most important, but the most long-tenured people that have enjoyed wrestling, that are people that would tell you their favorite wrestlers are Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker, Bret Hart. Those type of people who grew up either watching those people, that those are their favorites, plus a bunch of other people, Ric Flair, and the list goes on. Seth Rollins is generally liked, I think, by like 80 to 90% of those people. So the validity is absolutely there. And you can tell on Raw that Seth Rollins is the best thing going right now on Monday Night Raw as far as the hardcore, like the real fans are concerned. I would say AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Roman among the casuals and women. But this is a mixture of a bunch of different things. Number one, the pay-per-view was very long. I believe, if I remember, Extreme Rules was a long show. So you had that. And then number two, you got an Iron Man match. Number three, you have a clock on the board that the people can interact with, and that's might be new to a lot of people. Number three, they're in Pittsburgh, and that's full of douchebags. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking, Pittsburgh. Justin LeBar. But no, but seriously, you take the clock away, you put it up. It sort of brings focus on the clock. So, I mean, when you put a clock up, people are going to go look up at the clock. They're just going to do it. And if you start taking it away and putting it back up, their eyes are going to shift back and forth, just like at the Royal Rumble. Before somebody comes out, the eyes shift over, oh shit, the clock's counting down. It is a distraction. How do you solve that issue? I'm not 100%. I would probably say you solve the issue by, honestly, WWE, here's the other thing about this. WWE had no idea that people would start counting down from 10 every minute. That is weird. And no one would have expected that to happen. You would probably expect to be able to put a clock up and that not happen. Also, a few people probably started doing this, and when you're in a group of people and all the people that have been drinking, like they are really drunk now, right? Or anybody who's been drinking is really buzzed. So you sort of like your reasoning kind of lapses a little bit. It becomes an extra thing. People have less attention spans now. People are not happy with the product, and I know that Seth Rollins is something people are happy with as far as the product goes. But quite frankly, the product has been so terrible, and Extreme Rules was so boring and horrible that the crowd was looking for something to do, and they didn't even get a chance. Seth Rollins and Dolph really didn't get a chance to grab the crowd and do what they wanted to do with the crowd because of everything that was done before. I believe it is a fact. I know it's an opinion, but I believe for the most part, based on viewership and the people, that it is basically a fact that the Monday Night Raws and the Smackdown week-to-week show that normally should excite you and hook you, bore you to death. And then when you get to a pay-per-view that's called Extreme Rules, and pretty much the last few years, nothing extreme has happened whatsoever. Aside from Kevin Owens' stunt off the top of a cage, which was amazing, by the way. And I thought it would have been way more amazing if they built to it in a better way. I thought the match was garbage. I thought everything they did was garbage. But then I saw Kevin Owens do one of the best off-the-cage spots ever. Right with up there with Mick Foley's, to be honest. And honestly, like, seriously, like, the way he had to be thrown off there and land on his back was insane. You know, it's one thing, I mean, it's dangerous no matter what you're doing. Like, right, Shane McMahon is crazy. But, I mean, it is a little bit different, and it was, I believe, maybe a little bit higher or similar, I don't know. Shane jumping off the Hell in a Cell, I mean, through a table. But he had the time to, like, aim his body, whereas, I mean, Kevin Owens hit a bullseye on that table, falling backwards on a back bump, and he hit the table perfectly. But anyway, I think it's one of the it's debate. We'll talk. That's another debate for another time about what crazy spots are the best ever, and we'll probably do that at some point. But the point is that everything that could come together to make this doomsday happened. And, you know, unfortunately for the fans that I was actually upset at my house. I don't normally get upset with the fans because I normally think it's justified. What they do to Roman sometimes in the main events, what they do with that, I think it's justified. I think this is what you gave us, piss, and you expect people to cheer for it, and you don't expect people to hijack this show. But what you saw here was it happened with Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler. Now, I don't think this would ever have happened, though, if there was no clock. So let's get that straight. But I bet the guys in the back, like Vince and Road Dogg and everybody else, might have been thinking, see, it's not just Roman. These people just do this. You know? So that is the only, I think, sad thing. But I don't agree. I think this is this is not the rule. This is the exception. This is something that happened once in a blue moon. You have a piece of garbage show, and then after everyone's dead tired or drunk, you start putting a clock up and taking it down in front of wrestling fans who are, you know what I mean, can do things that are weird in a 30-man Iron Man match. You know, they didn't do this in Sasha Banks' Iron Man match with Bayley, you know? And something bizarre happened. Now, if you put Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins in a 30-minute like last man standing match, this doesn't happen, I don't believe. You don't hear the people going like cheering for somebody else or whatever the case is. This was obviously the fans didn't plan this. You know what I mean? This is something naturally that happened for some reason. And it's just sort of like an unfortunate little thing that but you can understand from the performer's state of mind why it's so devastating. You work 4 weeks for a storyline or whatever, 5, whatever it's been, even longer, and you work towards doing a 30-minute Iron Man match. An Iron Man match hasn't been done like this, and also for the Intercontinental Championship is on the line in the main event. You know what I mean? I was loving this, the idea of it, and then it gets spoiled in a way. It's like, wow, when will you see the Intercontinental title in the main event again? When will you see an Iron Man match again? Probably not again for a long time now, to be honest. You're not going to see an Iron Man match ever again, actually. this could have like lasting repercussions. That you like in 10 years, there's going to be a What Culture video or some wrestling video. If there, well, it probably won't be a YouTube anymore because everything's going on, but there'll be a video that comes out. It's like top 10 reasons why we don't see the Iron Man match anymore. You know, the last time we saw an Iron Man match, the crowd hijacked, counting down, blah blah blah. You know, WWE obviously is in fear of that now, and you know, you could probably get away with it if it was like the Attitude Era again. You know, because people would be excited to see something. I don't know, maybe, but people, I'll tell you, the ratings are down. I don't know if the wrestlers even pay attention to this. The ratings are down. And it's not the wrestlers' fault. It's the stories. The ratings are down. The attendance, I believe, is down. I don't have all the facts on the attendance, to be honest. But from what I see from my eyes, the attendance is down. The ratings are down. The money is flying, though. The money is killing it. People are making money like you wouldn't believe in the WWE. The WWE is bringing in more money than you can believe. They're like the friggin' mafia. But the numbers are down. The audience attention is down. The audience happiness is down. I guarantee it. It's all down. And you get people who are watching despite the fact that they aren't entertained that much. And it's not the wrestlers' faults. And you have people that I know, longtime Smarky fans, who go to the shows begrudgingly almost sometimes, and then skip months. They skip months, dude. People, 3 months, they tune out, they watch, they go, wow, this sucks. Then they go to a show anyway. They have a better time at the show, but mostly what they do is just kind of yell shit chants and stuff like that. And it's just become a horrible experience for everyone. And I feel bad. The most I feel bad for are the fans and the entertainers. And unfortunately, Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler just have to chalk this up to like a fluke. Like they have to chalk it up to, wow, we worked our ass off to get here, and now we're being heckled, basically. And I know the crowd didn't feel like they were heckling them, but it was rude, though. You know what I mean? Like in a wrestling sense, it is a rude thing. It doesn't make sense. You're not connecting with the match the right way, the way you're supposed to. You're connecting with the clock, and I don't really blame anybody in this case. I just say to Seth Rollins and to Dolph Ziggler, there is nothing you could have done to fix that. Because, I mean, okay, I take it back. Let me back up a little bit. There is something you could have done. I probably would have done this myself. I would have said to Dolph Ziggler, and I don't give a shit about the rules, by the way, obviously. Here's what, I think I said a lot of examples of what you could have done that night, actually, to be honest. I do know what you could have done. I would have said, I think, when did this start happening? I don't remember. The first 5 minutes or 10 minutes into the match, I don't remember when it started happening at first. But the minute that I realized, oh shit, this crowd is caring about the clock, I would have said, we are drawing blood. We're going to do something fucking crazy. We're going off script. You know? And I don't give a shit what anybody in the back says, because I'd be angry. I got to tell you, I give a lot of credit to Seth and Dolph for being professional. Because I don't think I could have been. I would have said to the referee, I was like, you know what? This is the state of things right now. We got the goddamn Intercontinental belt on in this main event. I'll be goddamned if this crowd is going to sing about a clock this whole time. Fuck that. Number one, take the clock down. Number two, we're going to bust you open. And I would have said, Dolph, we're going outside the ring. We're going to do a fucking crazy chair spot, and you're going to be busted open. And I would have had Dolph in a fucking blazing fucking pool of his own blood. And you know what? People are paying attention now. And you could have kept getting disqualified. It would have been great. You could have just worked it in, like, pull out ladders and chairs and whatever you got to do. Pull out a couple ladders, man. Do a couple back body drops on the ladders. That probably isn't a disqualification. Probably hitting someone with a chair would be. And I know that kind of builds into the ending with what they did with Drew and everything else. But, you know, you need to do something. Right? Remember, it used to be that you listen to the crowd, right? And now what do you hear? The crowd is singing about an alarm clock. So, in my opinion, what you do is you're like, we're going to make these people watch this shit, you know? And the way to make them watch it is to do more in the ring. And you have to bail on whatever plan that there was. And I don't even know if that would solve it, but I would love to hear Seth Rollins' comments to that. Maybe he'd be like, you're a crazy. Like, first of all, we'd be fired. Second of all, that's not what you do. And I guess the real answer is you live to fight another day, right? You live to fight another day. Kind of like, you know, in hockey, you know, some guy spears you in the balls when the referee isn't looking. You know, if you turn around and punch that guy, you go to the box. You're in trouble. So instead, you just turn around, you look at who did it, and you take the number, and later on, you fuck them, waffle them. You know, you just got to take one for the team at that point. You have to, unfortunately, not respond. And I think that's obviously what Seth and Dolph did. But it was an isolated incident, in my opinion, but it's a result of the boringness of WWE nowadays, story-wise. And I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. My name is Joe Cronin. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Hit the subscribe button. What do you think could have been done, should have been done, happened? Do you hate the crowd? Are you mad at Seth? Do you blame Dolph, Seth, Vince? Do you blame the creative? Do you blame the match, the timing, the pay-per-view length? All the matches before it that sucked? Could be that. Maybe that's the reason. Duh. I don't know. Let me know down below. We'll see you tonight live from Monetize This at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Become a patron. Skults105 just became a $5 patron. You guys make these videos possible. Without you guys, I don't do these videos. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Become a patron, and you get 30 hours of more of my content a month on Patreon. Right now, my Twitter is I am off Twitter, but you can get a hold of us on my other Twitter account, @CorruptedPod. That's CorruptedPod. Or my Instagram account, Instagram.com/Joe Cronin Show. I was at NXT Lowell last night. It was amazing. I'm going to do a video on that later. It's nuts. I'll see you guys later.